Okay, so the final thing I'm going to do is just sort of array this thing in 3 dimensions. I'm using the Z. So I'll kind of do that over here. Let's take this guy and copy it over here. And I'll just make a little wall piece, right? I mean, this could be a roof or whatever, but let's say that you wanted it to be, 2 deep or 3 deep or something like that, right? So that's very simple. You can come in and pick this guy and array it and just use the Z, right? So I'm just going to go to array. And then in the X direction, we'll do 10 will be fine. In the Y direction, let's do 2. And you could, and then in the Z direction, let's do 10, right? And then the trick here, and I didn't do it, and so I have to redo this, is that I have to get the entire correct size of the bounding box of this piece, right? So I'll go ahead and do this. It's going to want me to do the X first. So if I come in here and do the X and Y, just like we did for the 2D array, it wants me to do that one first, but now I'm in a bit of trouble because I need to do this one. And I don't have that distance. Like I can kind of guess and click. And then if I hit enter, I get kind of this wall, right, of pieces. Okay. And then, of course, you could come in and delete pieces out if you needed to, but I'll Control Z out of that. And let's look at how you would actually get the correct size for this. So the way that I would do it is I would just come in the top view, and you're going to need to have some edge. You might have to have the curve or something if you've rotated things out, but just go ahead and make a box. And so I'll just put this on the default layer so I can turn it off, but I'm going to make a box. And I'm going to go from here to here. And then over here, I'm just going to come into my front view, and I'm going to pick the edge of the very tip of that. And then I'm going to take this guy, and I'm just going to mirror it right along this axis. So I got both of those, and then I'll just Boolean union them. This guy and this guy into one, right? And it'll make that guy into one. And then if it annoys you to have all those faces on it, you can always pick it and say merge coplanar faces, and it will do that. So now I've got this box, right? So now I can come into my 3D view, and if I go to, come into my perspective view, and if I go to wireframe, right, I can pick this guy and array it. Number in the X direction 10, number in the Y direction 2, number in the Z direction 10. And then I pick the bottom of that box for the X and Y, and then the top, right, and hit enter. And now I've got kind of this 3-dimensional piece, right? And if I go to shaded, you can see it like that, and then I can turn that box off. I'll just make this layer current and turn the box off, right? So you can start to see that in 2D. All right, so you're starting to get a 3D piece. All right, so I hope that's enough to get you started. I guess the last thing you would do, is come in and start putting materials on these guys. So maybe I'll do that in the next one, and you can watch it if you want to.